Hi, welcome to A Journey with Jenney. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Vipassana meditation retreats. So I'm super excited because I am going to be doing my first 10-day silent meditation retreat, and it's coming up in just 2 weeks. I've been wanting to do this now for the last few years, and because it is 10 days, it's pretty intensive. You have to more or less be able to clear your schedule because no phones, no electronics, no books, no music, no exercising, no nothing. I am going to actually go over their code of conduct from their website, and just it's twofold, right? One, I want to introduce to you what is the Vipassana meditation and their retreats, why I'm doing it, and it's also in a way, I already read this when I registered, but now that it's coming up in 2 weeks, I really want to let it integrate more. And through this video, it's a way for me to really let myself mentally prepare and maybe even physically prepare, basically prepare for this, because I've never, ever gone more than even 2 days being silent. So what it's going to look like for 10 whole days. And in particular, we wake up at 4 in the morning and there's a whole schedule, which I'm going to discuss and share with you. But more or less, I think it's 10 to 12 hours of meditation every day. So what that's going to look like, how I should prepare for it. People have recommended maybe I want to invest in pillows and stuff. So any case, let me pull back a little bit. What is Vipassana meditation? And if you would like to look up their website, you can look it up. It's actually dhamma.org, dhamma.org. And if you go there and if you go to about and their code of conduct, you'll be able to read through everything that I'm sharing with you. It's taught by, or what the tagline says is Vipassana meditation as taught by S.N. Goenka in the tradition of, I'm going to butcher this, I'm so sorry, Sayagyi Ubakin. So the introduction to the Vipassana meditation technique. So Vipassana is one of India's most ancient meditation techniques. And also, I'm just reading from the website here. So I'm not this is not my script. I'm not making anything up. This is from their website. Long lost to humanity, it was rediscovered by Gautama the Buddha more than 2,500 years ago. So this is a very old, ancient tradition. The word Vipassana, so spelled Vipassan, Vipassana. And maybe I'm even pronouncing that wrong, but whatever. That's how I just hear it. Vipassana means seeing things as they really are. And I remember in Landmark, that was one of the big lessons, right? What's so? What is this? Rather than our interpretations of things. But in any case, I'm going to repeat that one more time. The word Vipassana means seeing things as they really are. So it is the process of self-purification by self-observation. They say here, one begins by observing the natural breath to concentrate the mind. With a sharpened awareness, one proceeds to observe the changing nature of body and mind and experiences the universal truths of impermanence, suffering, and egolessness. This truth realization by direct experience is the process of purification. The entire path, the Dhamma, so that's again this website, dhamma.org, Dhamma is a universal remedy for universal problems and has nothing to do with any organized religion or sectarianism. So for this reason, it can be practiced It can be freely practiced by anyone at any time in any place without conflict to race, community, or religion, and will prove equally beneficial to one and all. So I really love this, their claim. I think it's going to say it later on. Yes, okay, it's going to say it a little bit later on. So what I love about this is, okay, 10 days. There's obviously other people around. However, we're actually not supposed to even pretend like anybody else is there. It's like we're on our own journey and we're really paying attention to ourselves. So our breaths, our thoughts, our mind. They'll talk us through what it is that we need to do in this way of the Vipassana meditation technique. And I haven't done it, so I'm not familiar with it. I'll have a video later on where I share my experiences. I think I made a video back in 2017 was kind of the first time I really started to do meditation. So in the beginning, I used, all those apps. It was Stop, Breathe, and Think. Then there was the Calm and Headspace. And then I was listening to Gabby Bernstein and Chris Carr and Vishen Lakiani. And so now I'm using an app that's from Thich Nhat Hanh. It's this Plum Village, and I really love the meditations there. More or less all guided meditations. And I'll be curious to see what this kind of meditation is, if I'll be able to do it on my own or not, because I am just so used to listening to somebody else guide me through like what I need to do. So anyways, back to the Vipassana. So what Vipassana is not. It is not a rite or ritual based on blind faith. It is neither an intellectual nor a philosophical entertainment. It is not a rest cure or a holiday or an opportunity for socializing. And it is not an escape from the trials and tribulations of everyday life. So that makes sense, right? Because a lot of people might want to escape reality, run away from everything, and have these 10 days in this beautiful location and be disconnected from their lives. So what they're saying is it's not that. It's not a rest cure. It's not a holiday. It's not like escaping our life. And it's definitely not an opportunity for socializing, because we're not talking. So for 10 days, yes, you experience and see other people. You're even maybe sharing a room with other people, but you're not allowed to say anything. You're not even supposed to use like sign language, and you're not supposed to, say hello or whatever. I mean, I'm sure we'll smile and wave at each other or something, but you're really meant to be there on your own kind of like solitude, your own little retreat. So they say what Vipassana is. So what is Vipassana? So Vipassana is a technique that will eradicate suffering. So that's like super bold. I'm going to say that again. It says it is a technique that will eradicate suffering. It is a method of mental purification which allows one to face life's tensions and problems in a calm, balanced way. I think that's kind of like why I'm really interested in it, because I definitely have been noticing I'm getting a lot of anxiety and stress and overwhelm from the things that I'm trying to take on. And if I'm able to just face everything that I want to take on in a calm, balanced way, then I'll be able to feel a little bit better as I'm moving forward with things. And what Vipassana is it is an art of living that one can use to make positive contributions to society. So here it says, I'm just continuing to read, Vipassana meditation aims at the highest spiritual goals of total liberation and full enlightenment. Its purpose is never simply to cure physical disease. However, as a byproduct of mental purification, many psychosomatic diseases are eradicated. In fact, Vipassana eliminates the 3 causes of all unhappiness: craving, aversion, and ignorance. With continued practice, the meditation releases the tensions developed in everyday life, opening the knots tied by the old habit of reacting in an unbalanced way to pleasant and unpleasant situations. So although Vipassana was developed by a technique by the Buddha, its practice is not limited to Buddhists. There's absolutely no question of conversion. The technique works on the simple basis that all human beings share the same problems, and a technique which eradicates these problems will have a universal application. So people from many religious denominations have experienced the benefits of Vipassana meditation and have found no conflict with their profession or faith. So again, this is so freaking bold. It's claiming to be a technique that will eradicate suffering. Again, I think to me that's like, what? That's wild. I mean, I know I suffer. I would love to not be suffering. I definitely know, book-wise, I forget the name of the author at this moment, but the mind-body connection. I'm aware that our minds can sometimes create illnesses within our bodies, and I was very familiar with that when I was depressed a couple years back, and I remember having these suicidal ideation thoughts, and I didn't know why I was having these panic attacks. I didn't know why I was having so much anxiety. And once I realized that it was my mind playing tricks on myself because I was trying to delude myself, I was in denial, I was in delusion. And when I was able to stop trying to convince myself of this story of the quote unquote perfect life I wanted to pursue, and when I was honest with myself, and when I realized, just again, kind of what they're saying, seeing things as they are and recognizing the path I thought I was going on is not the right path for me. And when I stopped trying to convince myself to take that path, which I thought was the right thing to do, the perfect thing to do, like the correct thing to do for me to achieve my version of happiness, once I stopped trying to convince myself of that, then I was able to be happy. All the suicidal ideation thoughts, poof, disappeared in a matter of a day. And that is how powerful our mind can be. Our minds can make our bodies think and feel that there's danger. And back in the day when we were cave people, sure, that was good, right? Because you see a saber-toothed tiger, be scared, we survive. Now it's like, that is not a real saber-toothed tiger. That is false fear out there. So fear, Gabby Bernstein says this, I love it, it's false evidence appearing real. So it's not real, the fears that we have. It's in our head. So anyways, I got derailed. So they say, right, if we do Vipassana meditation, there's a possibility that it can cure physical disease. And if we're able to mentally purify ourselves, then the psychosomatic, so things that are triggered from thoughts to body, our body reactions to our thoughts, especially negative thoughts, toxic thoughts, like the foreboding thoughts, then we can get rid of what's creating danger in our body. So when they said Vipassana eliminates the 3 causes of all unhappiness, so I was like, what? Really? Is this really like my doing? Is this really going to like have me not be unhappy again? So if I don't have cravings, if I am not having aversion to things, and if I'm not being in ignorance, if I stop these 3 things, will I really stop suffering? I'm curious to see what's going to happen. So meditation and self-discipline. The process of self-purification by introspection, so going inside ourselves, is certainly never easy. So they say students have to work very hard at it. And I know it's going to be hard for me. I mean, being silent for 10 days, I don't even know if I can go silent for 10 minutes. I know I could. I have. That being said, like, it's not what I would choose to do. So by their own efforts, students arrive at their own realizations. No one else can do this for them. Therefore, the meditation will suit only those willing to work seriously and observe the discipline, which is there for the benefits and protection of the meditators and is an integral part of the meditation practice. So they say 10 days, which is funny what they're saying here. 10 days is certainly a very short amount of time in which to penetrate the deepest levels of the unconscious mind and learn how to eradicate the complexes lying there. So actually that's true. I mean, like, I know that I've gone to therapy now. I've tried it on and off since college, so it's been over 10 years. And so to undo trauma, to undo complex PTSD, I'm very aware it takes a lot of time, because consciously we might know that there are certain things in place, certain stories in place. However, at the deeper levels of the unconscious, because a lot of times that when we're triggered, a lot of times when something happens and we're upset by it, it's not really what's happening in the moment. It's really like triggered of something in our memories from our childhood, of something that we were fearing, something that was negative, and then we kind of overreact a little bit in the present time, because it's like all these triggers from all these years or months or years or decades. And so in some ways, in the incident, we're not really sure, why are we acting this way? Why are we so angry or upset or this or that? And reality is, okay, when you really look back, there's a reason for it. So yes, 10 days is a short amount of time in comparison to the years and decades, even to really do the introspection and self-awareness, to go deeper to the unconscious, the subconscious, and then to learn how to eradicate the complexes lying there. Continuity. So continuing the practice in seclusion is the secret of this technique's success. Rules and regulations have been developed keeping this practical aspect in mind. They are not primarily for the benefit of the teacher or the course management, nor are they negative expressions of tradition, orthodoxy, or blind faith in some organized religion. Rather, they are based on the practical experience of thousands of meditators over the years, and are both scientific and rational. So abiding by the rules creates a very conducive atmosphere for meditation. Breaking them pollutes it. So they do have pretty strict rules, and I'm gonna see if I can read out all the rules. That being said, it's really funny. I had a friend ask, how comfortable I was with being quiet, because I was telling him that I was doing this retreat. So he was like, why don't we just sit for 10 minutes in silence and see how that goes? And we did it. It was, 10 minutes passed. It was a very long 10 minutes, but that being said, I didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. Afterwards, he was like, oh, you're very obedient. And I don't know if I would say I'm typically very obedient. I do see I have a rebel streak in me. However, when things make sense and when there are rules and guidelines, like, I will follow them. I will adhere to them, because if there's a reason for it, if I see that it makes sense, I'm gonna do it. So here it says a student will have to stay for the entire period of the course, and it's 10 days. So again, the fact that they're saying that 10 days is pretty short is true, but for the lay person, the normal people who haven't really built up this meditation habit, 10 days of saying nothing and doing nothing, and I do feel like I like to be multitasking. I like to be an overachiever. I do like to do a lot of things in a short period of time, and try to fit a lot in my days. So for this to be where all I'm doing is breathing and meditating and thinking, and that's it, it's just, I'm looking forward to it. I have been wanting to do this for a long time. And the reason why I want to do this is because I can see I'm so easily influenced by my phone, by my laptop, by media, by just all these external noise and influences. And what I would like is for me to really be in tune with myself, my intuition, not needing so much validation or support or advice or all these things. And really, I know what's best for me. I really do believe that. So if I can be more comfortable with being disconnected from the world and be comfortable with myself, and this process is something where I'm really grateful for the structure and the environment, because they're gonna feed us very delicious vegetarian food. I don't have to worry about the meals, and the lodging is also provided. So for me, all I really have to focus on is being present, and just every single moment absorbing everything in, following the teachings, and just see what shows up for me. So A student will have to stay for the entire course period of the course. The other rules should also be carefully read and considered. Only those who feel that they can honestly and scrupulously follow the discipline should apply for admission. Those not prepared to make a determined effort will waste their time and, moreover, will disturb others who wish to work seriously. A prospective student should also understand that it would be both disadvantageous and inadvisable to leave without finishing the course upon finding the discipline too difficult. Likewise, it would be most unfortunate if, in spite of repeated reminders, a student does not follow the rules and has to be asked to leave. So this is something I do find really interesting. I actually read some blogs where some people went and they hated it. They thought it was so horrible, so they left like 4 days in. And it's just, my question is, well, if you knew what it was going to be, why sign up for it? Knowing that it's a 10-day meditation retreat and like reading all, like they're giving us all this information up front. Why waste their time? Why take away from somebody else? Because there's huge wait lists for this. I have to say, I'm from Massachusetts. There is a location in Shelburne, Massachusetts, Shelburne Falls, and it's supposed to be like one of the prime locations. It is booked months out, and it is like impossible for me to get in, so I'm going to a different location. They have 14 locations in the US. So they have it in California, they have it in Georgia, and even Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Montana, New York, Texas. So all these different places. They actually have it on all, like, except for Antarctica, all 6 continents. They have one center in Africa. They have it in Latin America. Asia has the most. They have 177 locations in Asia, which is wild. I would love to go to one of those in the future in like Thailand or other places. 19 centers in Europe, 10 centers in Oceania. So like in 10 in Australia, and they even have it in like Polynesia. That's amazing. So anyways, this is a worldwide organization, and so they offer it all around the world. And you have to apply and go through a wait list sometimes and really be committed. So I have been wanting to do this for the last 3 years. I had a friend go with her mom, and she thought it was such a great experience, and I've been wanting to do it. I wasn't able to in the past because, again, work or having a dog, or if you have kids, and it's hard to put away 10 whole days. But I'm grateful that now I'm finally able to go through this experience. So they say here, persons with serious mental disorders. So people with serious mental disorders have occasionally come to the Vipassana courses with the unrealistic expectation that the technique will cure or alleviate their mental problems. So unstable interpersonal relationships and a history of various treatments can be additional factors which make it difficult for such people to benefit from or even complete a 10-day course. So our capacity as a non-professional volunteer organization makes it impossible for us to properly care for people with these backgrounds. Although Vipassana meditation is beneficial for most people, it is not a substitute for medical or psychiatric treatment, and we do not recommend it for people with serious psychiatric disorders. So again, it's not a cure-all. If there are people that are deeply depressed or having other mental health issues, maybe bipolar or what's it called again? Borderline personality disorder, maybe before going to something like the Vipassana retreat, it's better to get help with professionals, because Vipassana itself, I think I'm going to read it later on, is a volunteer-run organization. So here's the code of discipline, and oh my gosh, I might need to break this into 2 videos because this is longer than I expected. So here's the code of discipline. The foundation of the practice is sila, moral conduct. Sila provides a basis for the development of samadhi, concentration of mind, and purification of the mind is achieved through, I might be saying this wrong, panya, the wisdom of insight. So the precepts. So all who attend a Vipassana course must conscientiously undertake the following 5 precepts for the duration of the course. 1, to abstain from killing any being. So no killing of bugs and ants and mosquitoes and obviously people. 2, to abstain from stealing. 3, to abstain from all sexual activity. 4, to abstain from telling lies, which Hopefully it's gonna be easy because we're silent. So how do you lie to people if you can't say anything? But who knows? And then 5, to abstain from all intoxicants. There are 3 additional precepts which old students, that is those who have completed a course with SN Goenka or one of his assistant teachers, are expected to follow the course. So number 6 is to abstain from eating after midday. 7 is to abstain from sensual entertainment and bodily decorations. And 8, to abstain from using high or luxurious beds. So old students will observe the 6th precept by having tea without milk or fruit juice at the 5 p.m. break, whereas new students may have tea with milk and some fruit. Oh wow, so no dinners, it's just tea with milk and fruit. The teacher may excuse an old student from observing this precept for health reasons. The 7th and 8th precept will be observed by all. So acceptance of the teacher and the technique. So students must declare themselves willing to comply fully and for the duration of the course with the teacher's guidance and instructions. That is to observe the discipline and to meditate exactly as the teacher asks, without ignoring any part of the instructions nor adding anything to them. This acceptance should be one of discrimination and understanding, not blind submission. Only with an attitude of trust can a student work diligently and thoroughly. Such confidence in the teacher and the technique is essential for success in meditation. So on the application process, one of the questions they ask us is if we're already doing meditation, and if so, how, and the willingness that while we're doing the Vipassana meditations, that we're not doing our version of it, that we're doing those. So, I mostly just do guided meditations. However, I do know that there's like somatic meditation or breathwork meditation, or there's a lot of different types of meditations that people might do, or like cognitive behavioral meditation, acceptance based or dialectical behavior whatever. There's all these different kinds of meditations that people can do. So while we're at the Vipassana retreat, we're not supposed to be doing the other versions. We're supposed to be doing what they're teaching us. So other techniques, rites, and forms of worship. So during the course, it is absolutely essential that all forms of prayer, worship, or religious ceremony, so fasting, burning incense, counting beads, reciting mantras, singing and dancing, etc., be discontinued. So all other meditation techniques and healing or spiritual practices should also be suspended. This is not to condemn any other technique or practice, but to give a fair trial to the technique of Vipassana in its purity. So students are strongly advised that deliberately mixing other techniques of meditation with Vipassana will impede and even reverse their progress. So despite repeated warnings by the teacher, there have been cases in the past where students have intentionally mixed this technique with a ritual or another practice and have done themselves a great disservice. So any doubts or confusion which may arise should always be clarified by meeting with the teacher. I think that makes sense. So interviews with the teacher. So this is the only one exception to this silent part. So the teacher is available to meet students privately between noon and 1. Questions may also be asked in public between 9 and 9:30 in the meditation hall. So the interview and question times are for clarifying the technique and for questions arising from the evening discourses. So I know that I'm gonna have a lot of questions. I feel like as to myself, I wanna wait until day 3 before I ask any questions. So I'm going to go into this and at least give myself 3 whole days where I'm not even asking the questions. I really wanna take the silence seriously. And then if I do have these questions, as they keep popping up on day not 3 but 4, then I'll be willing to, go to these interviews and see what questions I have. So noble silence. This is why we're doing this. This is the whole thing. So all students must observe noble silence from the beginning of the course until the morning of the last full day. So noble silence means silence of body, speech, and mind. So even the mind. I forgot this part. Any form of communication with fellow student, whether by gestures, sign language, written notes, etc., is prohibited. Students, however, may speak with the teacher whenever necessary, and they may approach the management with any problems related to food, accommodation, health, etc. But even these contacts should be kept to a minimum, and students should cultivate the feeling that they are working in isolation. So this is gonna be tough. I mean, I know it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be so tough. So separation of men and women, complete segregation of men and women is to be maintained. Couples, married or otherwise, should not contact each other in any way during the course. The same applies to friends, members of the same family, etc. Physical contact. It is important that throughout the course, there be no physical contact whatsoever between persons of the same or opposite sex. So no shaking hands, no high fives, no hugging, no anything. No. And this is the part that's hard for me. Yoga and physical exercise. Although physical yoga and other exercises are compatible with Vipassana, they should be suspended during the course because proper secluded facilities are not available at the course site. Jogging is also not permitted, so I'm not going to be doing my marathon training there. Students may exercise during rest periods by walking in the designated area. So for me, this is tough. Like, not even being able to do yoga, like, I would think that they are in sync. However, I'm going to obey and recognize the rules. Religious objects, rosaries, crystals, talismans, etc. So no such items should be brought to the course site. If brought inadvertently, they should be deposited with the management for the duration of the course. So you're not going to bring anything there. Intoxicants and drugs, so no drugs, alcohol, and other intoxicants should be brought to the site. This also applies to tranquilizers, sleeping pills, so you can't even bring melatonin, and all other sedatives. Those taking medicines or drugs on a doctor's prescription should notify the teacher. Tobacco. For the health and comfort of all students, smoking, chewing tobacco, and taking snuff are not permitted at the course. Food. Okay, so I'm excited about this one. It is not possible to satisfy the special food preferences and requirements of all the meditators. Students are therefore kindly requested to make do with the simple vegetarian meals provided. The course management endeavors to prepare a balanced, wholesome meal suitable for meditation. If any students have been prescribed a special diet because of ill health, they should inform the management at the time of application. Fasting is not permitted. So I went to the Deer Park Monastery, the Deer Park Monastery in California, and that is not Vipassana. That's Thich Nhat Hanh's, the Plum Village, his monastery. And same thing, there was a vegetarian meal that was offered there. It was delicious. It was so tasty. There was rice and chickpeas and salad and fruits and vegetables, and it was very heartwarming. It was very filling, so I'm kind of excited for this. I am very much a omnivore, tipping over on the carnivore side. I eat a lot more meat than I eat anything else. But that being said, I do like vegetarian meals, and especially when they're cooked well and tasty. I do think that this will be good for me. Okay, so almost done here. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna wrap up in less than 10 minutes. So clothing. So dress should be simple, modest, and comfortable. Tight, transparent, revealing, or otherwise striking clothing such as shorts, short skirts, tights, and leggings, sleeveless or skimpy tops should not be worn. Sunbathing and partial nudity are not permitted, and this is important in order to minimize distraction to others. Laundry and bathing. So no washing machines or dryers are available, so students should bring sufficient clothing for 10 days. Small items can be hand washed. Bathing and laundry may be done only in the break periods and not during meditation hours. Outside contacts. Students must remain within the course boundaries throughout the course. They may leave only with the specific consent of the teacher. So there's no outside communication is allowed before the course ends. So for 10 days, if any of you are trying to reach me, you're not going to get me. Don't be worried. Don't be concerned. Be like, okay, why isn't Jenney texting or calling back? No, I am disconnected. This includes letters, phone calls, and visitors. Cell phones, pagers, and other electronic devices, must be deposited with the management until the course ends. In the case of an emergency, a friend or relative may contact the management, but I am not going to be responding to anything, so don't expect to hear anything from me. This is going to be one of the things I'm looking forward to. I mean, I don't think I have ever gone 10 days without calling or talking or messaging people in my life, so It's gonna be something. It really, really is. Also, this part is like music, reading, and writing, which I love to do all three. I don't think I go a single day without reading or music or writing. So it's like, wow, I can't do any of that. So the playing of musical instruments, radios, etc. is not permitted. No reading or writing materials should be brought to the course. Students should not distract themselves by taking notes. The restriction on reading and writing is to emphasize the strictly practical nature of this meditation. So I'm looking forward to this because I do like to take a lot of notes. I am somebody who's very cerebral. I like to think about a lot of things. I like to write it down. I like to take notes. I like to be an extroverted processor. I like to say things out loud to like really have it integrate. So man, this is going to be really, really interesting. And I like it though because it's about me being so present in the moment that nothing else matters. And I'm just really, 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 really present. Recording devices and cameras. So these may not be used except with the express permission of the teacher. So now course finances, because you might be interested to know how much does this cost. So surprise! According to the tradition of pure Vipassana, courses are run solely on a donation basis. So donations are accepted only from those who have completed at least one 10-day course with SN Goenka or one of his assisting teachers. So someone taking the course for the first time, like myself, may give a donation on the last day of the course or any time thereafter. So in this way, courses are supported by those who have realized for themselves the benefits of practice. So wishing to share those benefits with others, one gives a donation according to one's means and volition. So such donations are the only source of funding for this course in this tradition around the world, which is crazy to think that they have hundreds of locations and it's all donation based. There is no wealthy foundation or individual sponsoring them. Neither the teachers nor the organizers receive any kind of payment for their service. So again, everything is volunteer, even the teachers, everything. So thus the spread of Vipassana is carried out with purity of purpose, free from any commercialism. So whether a donation is large or small, it should be given with the wish to help others. The course I have taken has been paid for through the generosity of past students. So they say this. Now let me give something towards the cost of a future course so that others may also benefit from this technique. So I think this is amazing because then it's not trying to achieve some sort of purpose. There's not anybody, trying to really put an agenda. Everybody is only doing it from the pureness of their hearts because they believe in it so much and they want other people to learn about it and go through it. So almost done. So the course timetable. So the following timetable for the course has been designed to maintain the continuity of the practice. For best results, students are advised to follow it as closely as possible. So it's wild, y'all. So 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Morning wake up bell. Ding, 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 or ding. 4 a.m. Which I'm okay with because actually ever since reading The Miracle Morning, I started waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning. So it's not crazy for me, especially if I go to sleep at like 9 or 10, then that's 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 hours of sleep. So it's not a lot, but it's enough. It's okay. Then from 4:30 to 6:30, it's meditation in the hall or in your room. I have heard that some people are still like napping. So anyways, so 6:30 to 8 is the breakfast break. Then from 8 to 9 is the group meditation in the hall. 9 to 11 is meditate in the hall or in your room according to the teacher's instructions. 11 to 12 is lunch break. Then 12 to 1, as they mentioned before, is rest and interviews with the teacher. Then from 1 to 2:30 is meditate in the hall or in your room. From 2:30 to 3:30, everybody comes back as a group meditation in the hall. Then after that, from 3:30 to 5, it sounds like you can stay in the hall. So meditate in the hall or in your room according to the teacher's instructions. 5 to 6 is that tea break. So new students will get to have tea and milk and fruits. But then if you're a returning old student, you do not take the fruits and you only have tea, which is going to be very interesting. 6 to 7, group meditation in the hall. 7 to 8:15 is the teacher's discourse in the hall. From what I heard, it's like videos, or maybe it's actual teacher, so who knows. 8:15 to 9, group meditation in the hall. 9 to 9:30, question time in the hall. And then 9:30 p.m., retire to your own room, lights out. So 9:30 is when we go to sleep. So 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4. So basically 6.5 hours of sleep per night. But you know, with all of this, I know I'm going to fall asleep during some of these meditations. I often already fall asleep when I meditate now. So I would very much not be surprised if that was the case. So anyways, now we're finally at the summary. This was a much longer video than I anticipated. I apologize. I want to thank you too. If you've actually watched this whole video, then you must be really interested about the Vipassana meditation and Vipassana retreats. In the next video, I'm definitely going to be sharing about, well, who knows? If I'm going to prep for this, then I'm actually going to make a next video about how I'm preparing, like all the things logistically that I'm going to do. Like, am I gonna practice being silent leading up to it, the sitting too, because like sitting on the floor, or you know, just staying still for so often and so long, it's gonna be very interesting. Also going to sleep at 9:30 and waking up at 4. If I do that ahead of time, then I can be better prepared. So these are things I have in mind. So next video. Anyway, summary. So to clarify the spirit behind the discipline and rules, they may be summarized as follows. Take great care that your actions do not disturb anyone. Take no notice of distractions caused by others. So again, we're there by ourselves is so interesting, right? We don't want to distract other people, but then if there are other people around us, take no notice of distractions caused by others. Really be in your own space, be in your own world. It may be that a student cannot understand the practical reasons for one or several of the above rules. Rather than allow negativity and doubt to develop, immediate clarification should be sought from the teacher. So again, that's why they have those questions. It is only by taking a disciplined approach and by making maximum effort that a student can fully grasp the practice and benefit from it. The emphasis during the course is on work. Work, work, work. A golden rule is to meditate as if one were alone with one's mind turned inward, ignoring any inconveniences and distractions that one may encounter. So I know I'm going to do my best to do this. I'm really, 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 even though I'm such an extrovert and I love meeting people, talking to people, all that stuff, I'm really going to do my best to put blinders on, like blinders, and be in my own space, be with my own self, go inwards, into myself, into my mind. And I am fully committed to this. I'm so excited for this. I just literally cannot wait. I just wish it would come sooner. But in any case, I'm very glad that it's only 2 weeks away now, because I've been wanting this for so long. So finally, students should note that their progress in Vipassana depends solely on their own good qualities and personal development, and on 5 factors. 5 factors. Earnest efforts, confidence, sincerity, health, and wisdom. And I have all of those. So I like this. So I know I'm going to be successful. I know I'm going to be fine. I know it's going to be hard. I don't discredit that. That being said, I'm very earnest in wanting to do this right. As the program is designed to be done, I have a lot of confidence that, these 10 days are gonna be difficult, but they're gonna fly by. I'm gonna enjoy them. Sincerity, I'm very, very, very sincere in wanting to go inwards to really what's the word? I really want to limit the outside noise, the influences by other people and other things, cutting off contact and really just being with my own thoughts and self. Health, so being healthy about this, sleeping, eating, walking, breathing, I am very healthy. So I think that's one thing I'm really grateful for. It's like, I know physically I'm super healthy. Mentally, I'm in a much better place. Emotionally, I'm in such a great place. So now it's about spiritually. This is really going to help me with my spiritual practice. and wisdom. So I say every single day the serenity prayer. So universe, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So I'm very excited for this experience because I know it's going to really help me integrate all the wisdom I've had from these last few years. And just this is going to be something that's going to help me have a blank slate and welcome in 2023. I call this my F it year. I'm not going to say it in this video. It's my F it year. And it's just like F everything, what I think society says I need to do, what I thought I needed to do, F all of that. Instead, I'm excited for this process to really see what it opens up for me. So may all of this information help me, help you, or help us to obtain maximum benefit from my meditation or from the meditation course. We are happy to have the opportunity to serve and wish you peace and harmony from your experience of Vipassana. So thank you everyone for watching this really, really long video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like this video if you enjoyed learning about the Vipassana silent 10-day meditation retreat. If you have any questions or comments below, please let me know. If you have advice for me, please let me know. I will have some follow-up videos, especially my recap of how it went. So stay tuned. Bye. Oh.